Hey guys, ILene Vick here for Teaching Adult Coloring with ILene Vick. It is Tuesday, April 27th at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, and I am live. Yay! And alive. Aren't you guys glad? Okay. Got a lot going on. Lots to talk about. Oh, so much fun. We are a blessed group, guys, I gotta tell you. We are ridiculously blessed. Hey, Maddie, hi. Julie, hello. Okay, so let's get announcements taken care of. I hope you guys are keeping up on your calendars. We have got so much going on. Oh, good, Ashley, super. Glad to hear that this is one of your favorite books, The Circle of Life. It is a beautiful book, isn't it? I'm so glad I've got something that you've got. Have you done any pictures out of it yet? Okay, don't forget, Dawn's contest is ending this Sunday at midnight, Central Standard Time. Get your pieces in, guys. Lots and lots of great stuff to win. I am so happy that our artists are contributing stuff for you guys to win. Okay, we've got two contests. We've got the Rose contest from Melba Carter, who was really great about contributing an image. Thank you. And Dawn, thank you, Dawn, for resizing that little puppy. That'll make for a really great piece for everybody to color. And the face contest. That was a Color with Claire freebie. No restriction on how you want to color it. Now the Rose contest, yes, pencils to make a nice soft background. So I'm stretching you guys a little bit because that's what good teachers do. Okay, Happy Mail. Neat stuff. I'm going to show this later. All right, looky what I got. Big Kids Coloring Book. All Animals Go to Heaven. Sound check, by the way. I'm so happy to get these. I've been wanting to show this to you. Go ahead and note that. Oh. Hi, Christy. I love it when artists send me their own books. That is so much fun. And I love coloring them, especially when the artists are running. So are watching. We've got All Animals Go to Heaven, and this is volume 1, and we have volume 2. So for 2721 from Dawn Boyer. Okay. All right, will a couple of you comment for me so that I know that I can see comments without any problems? So I'm going to do a flip through of these. It's not me, Maddie. Okay. All right. I really want you guys to see this. It's a great little book. We ran, hi Wanda, hello, hello, hello. I've got Happy Mail coming tomorrow too. I'm so excited I can pull these books in for you. All right, so let's look at this one. This is All Animals Go to Heaven, Volume 1. This is on the standard paper. The paper is pretty good. Hello, Melba. And each image has a light and a dark page. Now, I'm not sure about the background. I don't know if this is supposed to be textured or not. Dawn's going to have to let us know when she pops in the door. But I want to show you the various animals. Yeah, it's nice on black and white. Yep, yep, yep. And remember, guys, this is line art. It's not grayscale. And you have the choice again of doing the black with the black background or just the white background. And I want you to see, oh gosh, I want you to see the various animals that she's put in there. Love this one. Look at that. Ruth Sanderson would love that, I'm sure. Oh, look at that. What is this, guys? That's a Yorkie, right? Yeah, and the paper's pretty good on a scale from 1 to 10. It's not the super thin. I'd give it probably about a 5. Oh, look at that. Well, good evening, Melba. Little chipmunk, I think. Would somebody like to explain the difference between the grayscale and line art for Miss Rhonda? Oh. Sea otter on this one, I'm thinking. Rhonda, I'll show you a sample. Sit tight for a minute. Line art is where the image is drawn with just the pen and ink. And this is where the artist will either zoom in, zoom in, zoom in. The artist will use close-up lines, for example, to shade, and they also will use things like dots and lines. That's line art. Zoom out, and then I will find a grayscale. See, all of this is done, it's shaded with line art. Ooh, that's pretty cool. Possum. Baby hippo. Ah, German Shepherd. Here, let me see if I can find a grayscale. Okay, here is a grayscale, Miss Rhonda, and you can see the difference. This is a picture, and it's got the varying shades, values of gray in the picture to color. So here's the difference. So see, this is grayscale, this is line art. But it's line art that's been illustrated. The texture is done, for example, like I said, with close-up lines. Does that make sense? I love those eyes. See, now I can't see eyes now without putting cellophane to them. Okay, make sure you understand, Rhonda. Line art can be used to create shading, just like is done on this one, but this is not grayscale. This is line art. All right. Welcome to everybody that's dropping in the room. Welcome to everybody that's in the balcony. Thank you so much for your support and watching. Oh. Beautiful. This one's really neat. Little puppy. Love this cat. Hi, Shannon. Welcome, Shannon. Good to see ya. Oh, I love how this face looks right up into the view. That's really cool. Cellophane eyes, I'm telling you. Oh. And see, Rhonda, even though it looks like that this is grayscale, it's not. It's shading done with patterns. So that's what the difference is. Zoom in. Zoom in. Zoom in. There should be a song called Cellophane Eyes. Hola, Rita from Guatemala. Hi, Dawn. Zoom out. Zoom out. Hey, Dawn, tell me about the background. Is this meant to be the patterned gray? I'm assuming that you didn't mean it to be a solid black, right? I love it again. Here it is looking up into the camera. Ah, just cute. Little chipmunk. Even a crocodile. and a skunk. Oh, I'm gonna sneeze, excuse me. Oh, excuse me, guys. Oh, look at the frog. Poodle. Armadillo. Armadillo. Oops. Okay, gotcha. Thank you for the explanation on the background. So Dawn says some folks in other groups indicated that they love the dark background, but black spends a massive amount of ink, so thought I would use a gray background to accommodate those loving the background. And it takes less media, which is paint, you know, etc., to cover the gray background. Okay. That's why we love it when our artists come in. Your husband has a funny armadillo story? Should I ask, did he have one hiss at him? And guys, I've gone through the backs of her books before, Dawn's books before. This is the bonus section that she always includes, and she always indicates what book they're from. So Dawn is very prolific with her books. And here's an example of line art with grayscale. Hi, Rebecca. So Samantha, here's a really cool example of showing the two side by side. And I'm just popping through this really quickly. And guys, these are in our affiliate links if you decide that you want to pick it up. Here's our Oriental stuff. Love the boot. Love the boot. Okay, now. So that's from Dawn. Thank you, Dawn, for being so generous to the group. And there's a version 2, which I'm going to show you real quick. You guys know that I love to show you this stuff because, I mean, it's also art. I mean, just seeing the images, it's art. Could you please color a mixed grayscale and line drawing? Okay. Rita, do me a favor. Send me a direct message to remind me so that I have it in my notes. I'd be happy to do that. So this is volume 2. So apparently volume 1 was very popular. That hippo. Yeah, I don't think I've seen any other artist but Dawn mix the grayscale and line art. I love that horse. Ruth Sanderson would love that, as I said. And again, I love these images when they peer up into the, from the page. A sloth. I want to say this is a fox with little poofy feet. Okay, you think you mentioned on one or both of the books you mentioned your friend and the dog that she, oh, Red Panda, thank you. Let me see. Yeah, don't see it on this book. All right, guys, let me do this real quick. I'm going to keep my hand in here, or a pencil. Zoom in. Dawn has a really neat explanation of grayscale versus line art. So she says, folks may unintentionally describe the artwork in this book as grayscale, but that would not be correct. True grayscale coloring books take photographs or drawings and illustrations that are already in color and then washes the color out to leave behind the gray tones in the shading and highlights, which the coloring hobbyist would add back with colors of their choice. So Dawn says she uses a digital tablet and pencil to create the line drawings and then uses shading methods, including stippling. Let me turn this into a real lesson here. Zoom in. Yeah, Melba had a buffalo. Okay, so I want you to see this, guys. Stippling is the method of dots in various sizes, close and far apart. Cross-hatching, lines that are crossing each other. And thickness of the lines to indicate darker areas in the drawing. If you look very closely at some of the illustrations that seem to have more shading, you may be able to detect the minuscule stubble-like pen strokes. So let me highlight that for you. Creating an illusion of shading. This produces an illustration that looks like shaded areas, or what people mistakenly call grayscale shading in the artwork. Okay, zoom out. Okay, zoom out. Okay, zoom out. That's the teacher in me that had to show you guys that. Oh, just cute stuff. Love this guy. Yeah, Maddie says it's a student in me that wants to know. Hey, I have a master's degree in adult education. I will teach. I will teach. Oh, look at the little bunny. Bunny. Dang, these guys are cute. Okay. So Dawn says that she took the trouble to make the set of illustrations with only the animals and no background on the white backgrounds. So folks could make their own, you know, provide their own backgrounds. And they have hidden hearts. And boy, do I see it in this one. Woohoo! Oh, really? I took that as a heart. There we go. So just in case you guys didn't know, Dawn likes to hide hearts in her illustrations. And Dawn's feeling is that all animals have little souls, and that's why we can say that they all go to heaven. Love that polar bear. And there's the heart. Zoom in. See it? Zoom out. Oh, little sad puppy. Oh, I don't know if he's sad. But can you guys imagine with these cellophane eyes now? Cellophane eyes. Love the expression on that one. That's right. Dawn says, can you imagine creative coloring on otherwise white animals like the polar bear? That's right. Ooh, 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 ooh. Okay. Let's see if we can find the heart on this one. Not obvious right now, but we'll see where that one is. Okay. So I wanted to show you this book. Yeah, the puppy misses his mommy and daddy. That's right. Oh, pretty tat. Gorgeous. Yeah, Dawn says sometimes she forgets it needs a microscope to find the heart. Oh man, look at that. TSC, too stinking cute. Dalmatian. That better be, or else I'm going to feel pretty stupid. Ignorant. Yeah, I noticed that you had crossed over and had a couple of duplicates. Really cute. Loads of hearts in the Dalmatian. Okay. Okay, got it. Yep, yep, yep. So again, you guys have a choice of this background. Oh, gee, that looks familiar. There we go. Our little terrier. Hi, Helen. Little piglet. So Dawn, Helen was curious as to why you duplicated some of the images in the second book. Oh, that's different. Cellophane eyes, guys. I'm telling you. Yeah, that praying mantis. That's gorgeous, actually. Let me come back to that. Isn't that pretty? You could have a lot of fun with that one. I had a chinchilla as a pet. They're so cute. Okay. Oh, worry puppy eyes. Hot dog. Okay, and then of course we've got the back sample, which is all of her other illustrations. So Dawn always includes copious amounts, love that fish, copious amounts of images in her books. And here are a couple again that have the combination line art and grayscale. Teacup wire-haired terrier. Dun, dun, dun. Fun stuff. Ooh, like that one. That pops at you. I'll tell you what, guys, you really get a bang for your buck when you buy Dawn's books. Here's one of the ones from the Restored District. So yeah, you sure can't complain you don't get your money's worth. Okay. So that is All Animals Go to Heaven, Volume 2. And this is Volume 1. So Volume 1 has the horse, Volume 2 has the putty tat. All right, fun. Okay. So let me show you a book that I purchased for the group. And I'm going to be doing a tutorial out of this one. Let me know if you have this book. And this one, oh yeah, the Doodle Bug book to hopefully attract boys who like bugs to color. Okay, this book here is, I was looking at the copyright on it, and this one is 2021. Paperweight is good. Yeah, wait till you see these illustrations, guys. Zoom in. Melpomeni is the first name. Chatzipanagiotou. Chatzipanagiotou. I'm sure she forgives everybody that mispronounces her name. for obvious reasons. But I really want you guys to see this book. Let me pull out. So I snatched this one up. Actually, let me do it this way. And the book is perforated right along this edge so you can pull them out very easily. Now, I'm going to be doing a tutorial, a shading tutorial on this piece here. So I'll go back to this. But right now, I want you to see these images because they are drop dead gorgeous. Now, don't get me wrong, I love Kirby Roseanne's. He does gorgeous, gorgeous stuff. But don't miss out on these other books that artists are doing. So I'm going to hover a little bit so you can see and take in the picture. So this is in our library now, and I do have the affiliate link as well. I'll do it this way. I'll show the left one and then we'll go to the right. This is beautiful. Just the vultures in the tree. So this one takes a little bit to look at it. And if I were coloring this, I would go through and let's see, if I decided to go with relatively standard colors, I would put a very light blue in here just to tint that. Zoom in. Okay. I would put in a light blue just to get my bearings and then color from there. I mean, she's got a tent here, the trees, birds, polar bear. Just beautiful stuff. Oh, didn't notice we had, all right. Oh, got a little tear in there, doggone it. All right. This is a double pager. Oh yeah, you gotta be in a certain mood. So this one here isn't exactly a circle of life, but hey, you know. Okay. So just take a second to soak in the detail on this book. I mean, you could have so much fun with this. Right here. Beautiful. You could do kind of a northern sky type thing, which I've been doing on the Indians. And by the way, for anybody that's new, please go into announcements. We've got so much going on in this group. We've got 3 contests right now that are running. So I just wanted you to see her style on this book. Beautiful, beautiful stuff. And look at this. Isn't that gorgeous how it just works, you know? Your eye follows this down into this bird. This reminds me kind of an oriental motif. And like I said, I'm going to do a tutorial out of this book. And look at on the sails here, we've got land and mountains on the sails, and then of course the ocean here. So if you guys are drooling over this, cool. All right. Here's a mega page. So our whale is upside down, and look at this. It's got the waves coming out of the belly. I'm used to seeing the whale, you know, in the other direction, as I'm sure you are too. And again, guys, just look at these for the art, you know? Jellyfish with all the flowers coming out. Just beautiful stuff. Oh. And I love this paper. Crab is beautiful. Isn't that great stuff? Okay. Let me grab some water. Everybody catch the 4 seasons of this one? And this one's really neat because it's spirals. So it's not just circles, it's spirals. It'll take you a second to see that. So they're not just concentric circles. Yeah, Rhonda, you're right. Almost a Mandela feel, but much more interesting. Exactly. I love this one. And with all the techniques that I'm always showing you guys, the possibilities are endless. I could see shading this in such a way that it's darker internally, and then have the flowers pop out. I hope you guys are enjoying this. Now you guys know that this is, you know, I do a lot of coloring, but I want to show you this stuff. Look at this. the stages of the butterfly. Isn't that beautiful? Now take a while to look at this one. Intricate, beautiful. And the illustrations are generous. This is a very, very thick book. And again, like I said, I'm going to do a tutorial out of this. I want to show you a technique I think you'll be interested in. Love this. And look at this. Who'd have thunk, right? So here we have a lantern, and inside a lantern is the fire, the logs of the fire, and a sky. How cool is that? And you know what? Even though this artwork is intricate, well, it's intricate, but it doesn't have to be intimidating. You can use your chalks over something like this. You don't have to color every bits and piece. Love that. And these squirrels with their tails all being flowers. Okay. And then of course this leads into all of this. And I'm hoping for you that as you're seeing this, this is giving you ideas for coloring. Doesn't necessarily have to be in this book. Get yourself a compass and draw a circle around something that's on a page. Now, take a look at this. And what does this one remind you of? The artist. How cool is this one? And again, I love this kind of image because you see more things as you look. Little waterfall coming out of the books. Here's the main waterfall. Beautiful, this one. Mountains on the binding. Little deer drinking about the ocean. Just really neat stuff. Look at this one. And there's no reason why you can't draw circles on your current pieces and do something like this to encompass the piece. Wait till you see this next one, guys. Look at that. And you don't have to color every little scale. You can chalk this one up as well. You can use your gelatos in this. What I don't want to hear is you guys saying, oh no, can't do it, it's too complicated. No, it's only as complicated as you make it. It really is. I'm really interested in doing this one. And here is an example of how to do a reflection. So that's a really guide for that. Our elephants here. And let's see what we got here. So our lion, cliff, birds. Giraffe, crocodiles in the background here. There you go. Look at that one. I'll tell you what, if I were you guys, I'd be grabbing my compasses real quick. I've showed you those that you buy at Walmart. Stick a colored pencil in there. You don't want to use your graphite. A little hard to erase. Draw your own circles in your books. See that? Simple paddle wheel. And that's another reason why I take the time to show you guys stuff like this. Ooh, that's different. Take an image that doesn't have a circle, grab a compass, stick a colored pencil in it, and start drawing your own images, your own circles of life. So if you have a Johanna Bosford and she, might draw something like that, you take your compass, right, stick it in the middle, like that, and just go zit, 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 all the way around it. That's all you have to do. Ooh, this is involved. Now, something like this doesn't have to throw you. Start with your flowers and then work up your background. Oh, cool, Rhonda. Were you able to get it off the affiliate list? Okay, here we go. Then we've got some simple seashells. Yeah, this is on the affiliate list, guys. Look at that. Beautiful. And look at this one, guys. Now, this one here, I would probably take the time to do the intricate colorings in each section. And you got to be careful. You can't use alcohol markers on here, but you could probably use water base. You got to test it. This one I would take the time. Oh, good. I'm glad you found it, Rhonda. Look at this turtle guys. And again, even if you don't own the book, think about adding to your own pieces with a compass like I showed you. Okay, oops, I could just stay there. And we're getting towards the end here. Yeah, that turtle is, yeah, and Amy, I've seen your coloring. You could do something really cool with this, I'm sure. So here's our octopus. Here we've got some betta fish. These swirls are always fun to do. You could go dark to light. Really cool stuff. All right. Now, something like this, I know it looks intimidating. Doesn't have to be. Oops. Here you can take your chalks and color up, put the background on it here, put the base color, and then go back through with your colored pencil. This could be stunning, absolutely stunning. I can hear the wheels turning with Maddie. And look at this one here. Eggs to chicks to chickens. And then we've got some standard pieces here. Love this one too. Beautiful. Rich greens on this one. Color up your water first. Some blues and greens, some aqua colors on that. Hummingbird. Da, 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 da. Bird's nest and birds. peacock. And so these are not really circle life, but that's okay. We're going to vary a little different here. Here's a good one for our owl fans. Neat one with flowers and birds. Takes you a second to see that we've got birds here. And look at this, guys. Look at that koi pond. This one would be well worth detailing. I'll let you take all that in. And here are the life cycle of a frog. And see, I think it's so cool that something as mundane as this can be turned into a beautiful picture that the artist has done. Oh yeah, I love this just for the drawings as well, Maddie. I mean, look how the tails go out on these fish. Just, wow. Volcano. La da 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 da. Isn't that beautiful? Does everybody see what's going on in this picture? Somebody tell me what they see. What do you see in this picture? What's the perspective? Anyone care to hazard a guess on that? Well, I'm zoomed in pretty far, Rhonda. Okay, here's what's going on. You've got a cave, okay? Here are your stalagmites and stalactites. The view is out the cave. Everybody see that now? To the outside, which is the ocean and the setting sun and the ship. Everybody see that now? So if you were going to color this, you could color this your darker colors and then have this be your focal point. Isn't that cool? I love how the artist slips those, yeah, in. It took me a minute to see it. Okay, eruption here. Here's your yin and yang. And here is space, obviously. Here we've got a beautiful scene. vivid red maybe on the fire, reds, orange, and yellows. And then make this the cool blues and greens and a sunset. You can really do a lot with this. Okay. Here's another version of it, winter. Polar bear, ice chunks, sea otters. All right, I think that's it. And then we got a little bumblebee with a flower. And then here's a little image here of the artist. Let me pull in so you can see that. Honestly, I thought that this artist, before I realized, is a woman. And according to this, she specializes in the traditional black and white pen drawing, which is what you saw. Okay. Alrighty. Beautiful, beautiful stuff. I hope you enjoyed even just looking at the book, guys. So there's the book, Circle of Life. Oh, look, she uses a cellophane. Oh, I couldn't resist. Circle of Life. How cool. Look how I'm doing that. Circle of Life. Oh, I'm getting silly. All right. I thought you guys would like this book. I hope you like it. All right. So let me pull this. La da 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 da. I'm going to show you a little technique. We'll have some fun with this. Let's see here. It really isn't going to fit for a copier because these are oversized pages. No, it is not overly expensive at all. Not for what you get. Oh, and the one thing I wanted to show you, let me find one that does this. So, just be aware that when you color, this is the line right here for tearing this out. So everything between that line and the edge is going to stick in the, in the book. Now, if you want to, and this is probably what I would be doing, is if you want to preserve that, then just go ahead and take your X-Acto knife and cut that down right to the binding, and you can start pulling your pages out all the way into the center. So you'll have perforation on it, but so what? But the point being is then you can color all the way to the edge, okay? So I just wanted to point that out to you. No biggie. All right. So here is the technique that I want to show you. Let me get my paper towel. So right now this is looking pretty jumbled in the center. Zoom in. And I want to show you a really neat idea for coloring this. This is almost like a pre-color. Oh my. I would still pull out my three pencil shades. I've got a light, a medium, and a dark gray. My LMD, we'll call it. And here's what I want to show you. So I'm going to take my medium gray, and I'm going to start coloring around the edges, the outside edges of this piece. Zoom in. Now this is going to make sense in a little bit. And you'll see why I'm doing this. Because this is going to create a really neat effect as we get going on it. So when you have a circular pattern and it's looking a little complex to you, this is an option for breaking down that complexity. Zoom out. And it was funny because when I was looking at the walkthrough on YouTube of this, and I saw this image, this popped into my mind. Now, I will be the first to tell you that I am not a fan of super repetitive pieces. But as you also know, just because I'm not a fan doesn't mean I'm not going to color it, that I'm not going to color it, that I'm not going to color it. Double negative. Does everybody see what's starting to happen since I'm doing this? So what I'm doing is I'm shading around what looks like the gears. Can everybody see how that's starting to look on camera? Zoom in, zoom in. So I'm going to get close so you can see this. Second here to find a good view for you guys. I don't want to be too close, but that's enough. Right, Wanda, I'm defining the image. That's right. And I want you to think about this concept. It would be almost like the artist already had done this for you. But I want you to start working or thinking about blacks and grays on your images. I can't tell which is up. That's up. Okay. Zoom out. Zoom out. Look at that. Totally change the way this image is looking. Now, I've got a little bit of a flat side over here, so I'm going to go ahead and round that out. Everybody see now how that whole piece is popping up. All right. I have totally changed the complexion of this picture now by just simply adding that border. Now I'm going to take it one more step. Oh, my right arm is sore from my shot. Hold on, I gotta grab something. Da-da-dum. And now I'm going to take some black. This happens to be a Cool Bank black iron color. And don't forget, different pencils have different shades of black. Actually, my Zenna color is a little bit blacker. Yeah, you know, I am doing okay. I'm a little bit sleepier. I've been a little sleepy. Zoom in. Okay, now I'm going to play with the shading a little bit more, and I'm going to take my black pencil and I'm going to stick right close to the image. I mean, like right on top of it, to the element. I mean, excuse me. So I'm adding now that little bit of extra dimension. Now, if you're going to do this, you need to stay very close to what you're outlining. Zoom in. You don't want to color in too far into the gray. That's the trick. Yeah, I'm due about a month from now for my second one. Zoom out. Can everybody see now what's starting to happen here? Oh, that's good, Amy. That all you had was the sort. Which one did you get? The one I got was the Modiah. What's somebody pronounce that for me? It wasn't the Pfizer and it wasn't the Johnson & Johnson Moderna. That was it. Yeah, that's it, Moderna. Can everybody see now how cool this is looking? And again, I'm literally just outlining now with the black. When I did the gray, I came out a little bit, just a tad. And see that effect that we're getting? And I haven't really even started coloring this. I'm just doing some preliminary shading on it. Zoom in. Now I have some areas in between the gears here. So I'm going to go ahead and color those black as well. Oh yeah, and see, that's going to make that pop. So now you're really going to see a dimensional effect. And I'll pull out so you can see this. I just want to outline this. So I want you to think about doing something like this if, zoom out, if it's appropriate to what you're coloring. Now, I don't care whether you like the image or not, but what I do care about is that you see the method that I'm using. And I really, really hope that you can see on camera how cool this is looking now because I'm doing this. This is all preliminary coloring. So this would be like if the artist, when they released the book, when she designed the book, if she had gone ahead and made these areas black. Now, that brings up another point. But wait, there's more. You don't see very many coloring books that will color in an area black. And so what I would say to you is I want you to start looking at your coloring pages and see if there are areas that you can do this sort of thing. Everybody see how beautifully this is coming up now? And again, I'm not coloring over all of the area that I did in gray. I'm leaving that gray outwardness, and I'm just highlighting with my black. Okay. So now what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to grab my pens and I'm going to look for areas now in between the gears that I can color black. And trust me, this is going to be well worth it to do it. Zoom in. So the concept of this tutorial is doing some pre-shading and pre-coloring in gray and black. And depending on the piece, if you take the time to do that, this whole thing and your piece is going to really pop. And I would recommend using a black pen for the in-between. Oops, I just wiped out something I shouldn't have. I am so transparent when I'm coloring for you guys. If I make a boo-boo, I go, oops, and then you know. Oh, yikes. And the reason I'm doing all this, taking the time to do this on camera, as opposed to just showing you a segment, and then me doing it later when I'm uploading my videos, is because I want you to see in front of you how this transforms. I gotta move my camera, sorry. Yeah, I don't know if all you guys heard my little story about how my COVID shot came about. I was walking around Walmart and they made an announcement that there was one more dose left. And if anybody wanted it, they could come over and get it. So I toddled on over and I got it. I got it. And Amy Newland, I could see you doing something like this because you've been doing really great pieces with the detail. Let's see what we got here. zoom out. So what do you guys think so far? Do you like it? Let me grab some water. And please take the time to do the detail. And then in this case, it would be the black in between the teeth. Exactly, Rhonda. You could use pewter or silver instead of grays. See, there you go. You're starting to think about colors. A brass color would even look great. Cool. I think I'm around the whole thing. All right, let me get the top again. Nope, that's the top. All right. No, it's not bleeding through at all because I'm just using pencil and black pen. Now, what you can do to continue with the effect, and this is where you're going to tweak a little bit, is if you need to bring your light gray out a little bit more, that's fine. Just tweak it. But as you come out with your gray, you want to come out lighter and lighter. Okay? Tell me that that doesn't look drop dead gorgeous. And dimensional. I mean, look how look how that pops. All right. I really hope that you can see the dimension, number one. And number two, I hope that it gives you some ideas because, of course, that's the whole idea. So I think what I'm going to do, I gotta mark the top of this. Hold on. And put a little check mark on there. Now, totally optional, of course, what you want to do with your winding arrows. But I thought that the black would look really neat. And what I want to get you away from is that you just do nothing but colorings that don't pop. You want to get a little bolder and a little more dramatic is the word that I want. Okay. I want you guys to think about colors that are going to give you a little more dramatic look to your piece. Now, I've done other pieces where I've started to add black into it, and a couple of you had heart attacks about that. And then when you saw that what that ended up doing was making the rest of it pop, because you got that contrast between the black and your coloring. Now, to me, I think it would have been neat from the standpoint of the coloring book if the artist had pre-colored in these lines and some of these other things with black. Not all of it, and not a lot. Could you imagine if you had received this page like this, the ideas that that would have given you? I think a lot of people are afraid to use black. You don't need to. Don't know why that is. Now, I was going to maybe do the spear, but I'm going to wait on that. I'm going to wait and see how this looks. Zoom in. And the reason, again, that I'm taking the time to do this on camera is I want you to see how this image So Stacy says that maybe because with pencil you don't really get a true black, which is true, and they don't think to use pen. Yeah, exactly. Zoom out. Look at that, guys. That's got a wow in it. Let me take some water. Doesn't that look absolutely gorgeous? And I think I'm going to go ahead and color this rim black as well. Do, do, do. I want you to see how this piece is evolving right before your eyes. Now, don't get black happy, okay? Right? Really? So, Stacy, if I wasn't so content lying in my bed decompressing, I would go get my book and start coloring. Well, Amy, I was thinking this would give you some ideas. Some of the pieces that you've done, put some black into it. You popped into my mind when I was doing this, Amy. Take some of your Kirby Roseannes and shoot some black into it. Look at that. So we've got all the really neat shading. Got the black in there. This is popping up. I'm going to do one more area of filling in the black. I don't really like the bottoms of these arrows. I'm not going to do the whole thing. I'm just going to do the bottom. Much better. And guys, this goes along the lines. Yeah, Stacy, using the black to make more sense of some of the Kirby Roseanne's pictures. I do it all the time. The camel standing in the water. I went through and I highlighted areas with black, and what it ended up doing is making the camel fur part certain ways. You know, I really hope the light bulb is starting to come on for those of you who have been following me for a while. I've been doing this all along. It wasn't so obvious like this. Okay. Zoom out. Look at that. Let me see if I can find my Kirby Roseannes where I did this. Oh, Stacy, you're welcome. Well, Christine, I would suggest you buy black pens. So Stacy says, I have to just give you such a big thank you and a huge, two of them, virtual hugs for being such a place where I can decompress and relax. I enjoy watching you color almost more than coloring itself, almost. Well, Stacy, that warms the cockles of my heart because that's the idea with this group. Okay, guys, bear with me because I really want you to see this. Okay, here it is. All right. Everybody see these lines right here that you've got the parts in the fur? And the dimension in the fur, but especially these lines. This is where I went through. It wasn't black pen, it was black pencil. Now, having said that, zoom in. These areas here around the outside of the face, I went through with black pen. Actually, it was black pen. Here it was pencil. But this whole area here, around the jowl, and around this face, and around the ear, and then I went a little bit into the fur here. All of that, guys, is black pen. Kirby hadn't drawn in these accents. I put them in there. Everybody see that? This is what I want to show you so you can have your pieces get a lot more dimension around the ear. Same thing, black pen. In the ear, black pen. Okay? And then below the waterline, this whole area here, right underneath, black pen. Down the leg, black pen. On the outside of his leg, black pen. In between his legs, black pen. Again, underneath the waterline, black pen. Down the tail, black pen. Everybody see that? Zoom out. So I want you to see the full effect now. Zoom out of doing that. Everybody see that? Please let me know. I really want to make this point to you guys, but you never would have known that I had highlighted this and done that with the pen. And on the volcano here, zoom in, zoom in. These lines right here were Kirby shaded. I went ahead and added black pen. I do that all the time on his books. Follow his lead. Give me a second, Wanda, and I'll be glad to show you that. See these little areas right here where Kirby shaded in? All of this I enhanced with black pen. The little peak here, this edge here, these areas up here. Good night, Pearl. This area around the rock. Zoom out. Zoom out. Wanda, this is a Dick Blick book, presentation book, 11 by 14. And I got it for the oversized pieces. Acid-free. 24 acid-free matte finish poly pockets, so you have 40. You can put 48 images in it. And I use this for my larger pieces. Zoom in. Okay. So my whole point, but let me show you something, Wanda, that I discovered as well. This is actually cheaper. Zoom out. This is a scrapbook album that I got at Michael's, and it's the one that it's got the little pegs in here so you can add sheets. And I don't think I have any doubles in here, but this is a lot cheaper to go. So I would suggest this. And again, you can get those refills. I just have to move some of these pages. But see, this would fit in a notebook, which I also have, those inserts that I showed you, I've got 3 notebooks. So the ones that fit in a notebook, in those inserts, those sheet protectors that I showed you guys, I put my standard sheets. But when you have the slightly larger that they won't fit, then I go ahead and I put it in the scrapbook thingy. So I need to go back and get more empty sheets for this. Let me grab something. Hold on a minute, guys. I have a standard 3-ring binder that I use, that I put those plastic protective sheets in. Good night, Miss Rebecca. Now, the reason that I like the protector sheets that I'm recommending is because they let you, darn, I gotta find that notebook. Sit tight, guys. Here, I'll give you something pretty to look at. You recognize that. Hold on. Again, I'm still moving all my stuff around, so I'm not exactly sure where my notebook went. Give me one more minute, because I really want you to see this, guys. Okay. I can't find the exact notebook, but I'm going to show you my setup. I found it right near my feet. All right. So instead of the Dick Blick, which is expensive, I'm using the Hobby Lobby scrapbook. Yeah, my shelves are up. They are. And I'm slowly filling them up. Okay, zoom out, zoom out. So this is a standard notebook, and anything that fits, I go ahead and I put into the sheet protectors. Now, I want to show you something about these sheet protectors because it's important. So they're heavy duty, they're non-stick, and they're archival safe. But what I like about these particular sheets, and like I said, they're heavyweight, is they are a little bit bigger. They're slightly bigger than standard sheets. So if you stuff stuff into the sheet protectors, they expand enough to take the wider piece. And I'm going to show you an example why that's important. When I did my little fat lady by the sea, I added stuff on there. These little stones and the sand, but the stones is the big thing. So because these sheets are, they're like, I think they're like an eighth or a 16th of an inch bigger. Let me see if I can show you this. Zoom in. Can everybody see that? You see that little gap between the edge and my paper? They're that much bigger. I'd say it's about an eighth of an inch. Yeah. So you have an extra eighth of an inch to add sheets that have stuff that's got things on the front. Zoom out. And so I just stick those in my notebook. You can get a D-ring notebook if you want. So everything that fits, you know, 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper, that goes in my notebook. Anything that's bigger goes into my Hobby Lobby scrapbook. So I am not going to buy any more of the Dick Blick books because they're relatively expensive. The way I'm doing it is a much cheaper way. Hopefully that answers your question. Rhonda, does that, or Wanda, does that answer your question? Okay. Okie dokie. So, if the coloring book art is here, good. Good, Wanda. So does that make sense? I'm abandoning the Dick Blick stuff. I'm going into the notebook with the heavy-duty plastic protector sheets, which is on the affiliate list if you're looking for the brand. And I just went with the Hobby Lobby scrapbook pages because they're huge and they accommodate a lot of stuff. Zoom in. Zoom in. Okay, so we have a lot going on in this picture here, and I'm going to tint in now very lightly. I mean, just barely, so you can see it is my blue. Oh yeah, I'd rather be able to buy craft supplies than have to put good money into storage. Now don't get me wrong, I love Dick Blick. I highly recommend them. Oh, wait a minute. Made a boo-boo. Hold on. This is why you tint. That is not blue water. Zoom out. Yeah, and Hobby Lobby, when you go to buy those inserts, you get, unless they discontinued, you get 40% off. Although somebody said they discontinued that. And I'm kicking myself because the day that I went to buy this setup, they had their scrapbooking stuff was 50% off. And I should have bought more sheet protectors than I did, but I wasn't sure that I'd be using them. Okay, so the blue up here was a mistake. Sorry, that's supposed to be green. So let's try this again. Zoom in. Zoom in. So our picture is busy. I refuse to use the word complex. So I'm going to tint in my blue for the water. Using the side of my pencil. Now, I'm using an extra light tint because if you change your mind about what you want your stuff, your colors to be, you'll be able to do it. So when I screwed up with that green, because that was that was supposed to be grass, I was able to erase that tinting very easily. So I'm just going to put in, and I'm not even going to fill it in. I'm just going to, just a light blue. I'm not even sure you can see that on camera. Let me move my camera, sorry. It's just enough that I can see this. And I don't know, I may come back to this and decide I want to make it pink. I'm just using that as an example. All right. So I've got a little more blue here. And by no means is this the final color or shade or intensity. I'll put a little blue there maybe. The author didn't finish her lines. Yeah, you're right. Each section is seasonal. You know what, Wanda? I didn't even notice that. Thank you. That's so funny. I saw that deal with the cave, but I didn't see that this was seasonal. Just whack me on the side of the head. So the author didn't finish the lines here. So I'm going to go ahead and put in a couple. Although technically speaking, this is the other part of it. Okay, so I've got my blue and winter. Yep. Spring, summer, fall. Yeah. Zoom out. So now I'm starting to define my areas, and I don't want, the reason I'm showing you this, I don't want the intricacy of this to throw you. There's no reason why it should. Color in what you know. Zoom in. So I actually wasn't going to do this piece, but now that I've started on it, I'm having too much fun with it. So I'm going to run with it. So here's a little bit of pink. I really did not see that, Wanda, that was a different season. Thank you for the whack on the side of my head. ILene! Hey, Wanda, look at it this way. At least I'm not making anything bloody, right? Okay. I suppose I'm going to have to maybe explain that story. Oh my. So I was coloring some gnomes and Kirby Roseannes, and one of the gnomes had a hatchet, and I went ahead and added some blood on that. Oh, you didn't see the gears until I added the gray? Yeah. And what really made that happen, okay, now I'm putting marker in with this pink. No blood, please. Agree. Is because I had done a gnome picture and the gnome was holding a teacup, and Wanda said that there was alcohol in that teacup. So I went ahead and added a little extra blush to the gnome's face. Okay, now I've got the yellow. I'm doing zoom in, zoom in, zoom in. There we go. So I'm going to put some orange on top of that yellow. So that's where that came about not putting any blood in there, because after I made that one gnome a little tipsy, I got inspired to add extras like that. I mean, I put sunglasses on a gnome on one of the Kirby Roseannes. That was one of the things that you guys asked me to do. That was fun. Oh my. Okay. Now, these flowers are ridiculously small, but I still want you to go ahead and spend the time and do something neat with them. I don't know, Wanda, I almost feel challenged now to find a place where I could add a little bit of blood. Maybe on the tips of the arrows. Oh my. Okay, so my little daisies here, I'll go ahead and make a black center. That'll look cool. Let me get that back into focus. All right, now our leaves. Now remember, dimensional coloring, right? So I'll go ahead and put my base color down with my green. No, just make the bunny drunk. There you go. Okay, so I've got the green. And now I'm going to take one of my ohuhus. I was using my ohuhus on these other flowers with my little fine tip. and I've got a really dark green. Did I forget a leaf? Oh, I did. Thank you. There we go. I'm going to go ahead and use my dark green, and I'm going to put just a little streak in there. Now, you can choose on the top or the bottom. I don't care which one you choose. You're working on your mani tonight. You didn't see the leaf? Come on, Wanda, step up. So the majority of the lighter leaf is showing through. And we've got that little bit of green, okay? Zoom out. Okay, so one thing I want to show you now is our transition between our gears and then each image, which Wanda has pointed out were the 4 seasons that I missed. So now I'm going to go back. Let's see what we got here. We got a large leaf or something there. Now, if you run into something that you're not, well, I'm going to go ahead and color that. If you run into something that you're not sure what it is, leave it. You can always go back, zoom in. And I know that sounds obvious, but sometimes people just don't do that. Now, we're transitioning between the gray and the green. So when I'm putting this green down for this greenery that's at the bottom, I'm coming back into the gray just a little bit. Not much. This is one of those your brain will see it and not your eyes. And again, I'm coming in with a nice light green. And then I'm going to come back with my darker green marker. And I'm going to color in those bases. And I'm going to smear that just a little bit with my finger, okay? Look how cool that looks, guys. Now don't wipe out your gray shading here. You want this to be vibrant. Zoom out. Everybody see how absolutely beautiful that's looking. And again, I'm taking the time to do this because I want you to see how what we, gosh, excuse me, hold on. I want you to see how adding this gray shading that I did in the beginning is going to really make these individual sections look really cool. And again, you don't want to wipe out your gray, see, because the gray was brought into these plants when I did this outline here. All right, and I'm going to do something real quick on the gears because I think this will be fun. Is I'm thinking about going ahead and doing my gears in the gold colors. So this is going to be a little tricky because these buggers are so small. Zoom in. So I'm going to put in some gold, and then I'm going to go ahead and put in my yellow. And this is going to be really touchy because these gears are small. Amy did a project where, oh my gosh, she had all those gears that she was coloring in. That was so pretty, Amy. Are you still here? So I'm going to touch this up with my brown. And then I'm going to smooth it with my yellow. So basically it's yellow, brown, yellow, and then a little bit of a highlight with a dark brown. Everybody see how cool that gear's looking? Questions, comments? So let me hit this one, yellow, brown, yellow. Don't go overboard with your brown because you don't want to completely cover up your yellow. So put it on sparingly. And then back with your yellow. So this is a quick and dirty way to do gold gears. But it looks really good. Anybody have any questions about that? And my suggestion would be to do one gear at a time. And the reason that you want to do that is because when you're paying attention to a single gear, you're more inclined to suffer the details. You're not just going to throw color on there. And then you can just play with your brown shading. You can go back yet again with your brown. For example, I'm going to darken this inner circle on that gear. And then this one line here. Zoom out. And again, because these gears are so tiny, honestly, this is just a quick and dirty way of doing it. I've taught you how to do gold the proper way. And not that this isn't proper per se, it's just that we're dealing with such a small area. Amy, what do you think? Now, when you put your brown on, don't go too dark with it, because you're coming back with your yellow and blending on top of it. Ronnie says, ILene, you're doing a mandala? Yay! Yes, Ronnie, I am. Somebody take my temperature. See, I got that COVID shot, and now I'm doing weird stuff. Yeah, Rhonda, the dark and light gold glitter. Yep. Uh-oh, Ronnie's going back and reading all the comments now. Oh, Ronnie, you don't have to apologize. And no, we're not doing drunk bunnies. But you know what? We do joke about that. But again, this is just ways for you guys to customize your pages. Got to give you some ideas. Now, when you're doing something like these gears, which is semi-tedious, if you're getting bored with it, stop. Don't sacrifice the great job that you're doing. I'm just going to lay my base color so I can see where these gears are. Now again, yeah, the black would add interest, I'm sure. Sharon, I would need you to post the page in the group so I can see it. Be sure to put the title and author, of course. All right, and now you're getting an idea how these gears are going to look. Zoom out. Now, I don't care how you do your gears. This is just one method that I'm using. Glitter pencil or gel pencil it'd be great if you want to do it that way. But everybody see now how I'm starting to get that look on the page of the gears?